Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you are all doing well. It's Thursday, we have still one game before the last international break of 2024, and what a game. Derby della Mole, Juventus Torino in our home on Saturday. We'll have time to speak about the game that we must win, we'll come back on that tomorrow, because today we have a lot of information to share. Nico Gonzalez and him being called up by Argentina. Mercato with an offensive player that have been linked to Juve, two players that we recently played against, Zhegrova, Jonathan David, but on top of that also Zirkzee that is doing extremely bad at Manchester United. And yes, I've read your comments, but also on social media, that a lot of Juve accounts, these translations account, they were starting to report that Endrick could have been a player that is in the target of Juve on loan already now from January. Player from Real Madrid. Yes, not another Endrick. This Endrick. How much possibilities do we have to see the Brazilian player at Juve? I will give you all the information in today's video. So first we start with a maximum of likes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You know it counts. It costs you zero. It's helping me so much. So it's now the moment to push that button up and also to interact. Let me know your thoughts about everything that we will speak in today's video. You will probably ask yourself, Beppe, what are you worrying? How are you? You're at home, But it's cold. 1, 2, I start to be old. And thirdly, I already told you, my neck, my back is still hurting. And I'm not sure if it will get better in the coming days. Okay, we start with Juve, the latest update. Since this morning, it's already available on store.juventus.com, where you can find the new collection. Adidas and Juventus, they collaborated again with each other with the NASA-inspired collection. Reversible jacket that is incredible. Silver on one side, black on the other side. There is a football t-shirt with NASA in big. No, it's not the new sponsor of Juve, for people that were asking. There is a t-shirt, there is a hoodie, there are some trousers, really beautiful. The people selected for the ads are, from the men's side, Yildiz, Koopmeiners, Douglas Lewis, and Gleison Bremer. Now, beautiful collection, go and watch it, really nice. Then, before speaking about Calcio Mercato, about Nico Gonzalez, I want to tell you that this evening, and that's why I tell you, not sure if it will go better, I will go at the stadium in the cold there in Belgium. Union Saint-Gilloise against Roma, game of Europa League with Union with 1 point, Roma with 4 points, and yes, of course, I will support the Belgian team, of course. And I will give you a reason more why I will support them, because, and I heard that already, it's not new, I heard that they are calling themselves La Vecchia Signora del Belgio, the old lady of Belgian football. Guys, when you hear these kind of words, of course you support them. And this morning I was watching actually a clip how L'Union promoted the game of Europa League against Roma with a Belgian-Italian one that was really speaking extremely well. Well done, extremely well. I think he's also supporting not only L'Union but also Juventus, because when he was speaking and presenting indeed that blue and yellow team as the old lady of Belgian football, he was also saying fino alla fine. We will make sure that the people, they hear ourselves until the end, fino alla fine. So, guys, Vecchia Signora, fino alla fine. And on top of that, when he's closing that documentary or that small ad, that small video, he's going with a signature and then he writes fino alla fine, Forza Union. Guys, if there were some doubts who I would support, I think that these are clarified. Then on the other side, I really wanted to see some ex-Juve players playing. Dybala and Soule. Yes, I know about Paredes. Well, you know what? The bad luck is saying that Paredes will probably start today. Dybala and Soule, they will be on the bench. It is what it is. Hopefully, I can see them entering. But it is what it is. I will report you how the game went later, probably tomorrow. Can we go back to Juve? Yes, we can. With Nico Gonzalez, we have a really great news. Not that much for the Derby della Mole, because we are not sure that he will be available yet to be on the bench. But the good news is that he's saying no to Argentina, because he has been called up. You know it, some people were already angry with Nico Gonzalez. You know that when you are called up, you're obliged to go. Then, of course, you can discuss, you can talk, you can say, I'm not feeling well, I'm not 100% sure I will not be able to participate, and sometimes you have an okay. Sometimes the federation is still obliging you to travel to do the medical test on top to check, to monitor the situation, which this time luckily they found an agreement, because he said no and he will stay in La Continassa. It's super important because Nico Gonzalez is a player that, yes, I appreciate it. I think that he had a really big price tag for the player that he could potentially be. But it's a player that we need to discover. I think that he can be really essential to Thiago Motta, but before judging, we need a bit of time. Because if we start judging now, Nico Gonzalez already as a flop, overrated. We spent too much money for him before watching him playing. I think that we are exaggerating and going too fast before having a final judgment. Of course, at the end of the season, if he didn't play because he was injured, then it didn't work. If he's playing and he's not playing well, that's a problem. But before judging, I would love to have an entire season, especially from Nico Gonzalez, but also from Douglas Luiz, from Koopman, from all these new players that are arriving for the first time at Juve. Corriere dello Sport, Gazzetta dello Sport are speaking about what happened yesterday in Champions League with a win 1-0 of Inter over Arsenal, with a 2-0 win from Atalanta over Stuttgart. Disaster, of course, big disaster, because they destroyed us, and then you see an Atalanta that is not doing only well in Serie A, winning over Napoli, but also winning over Stuttgart. Atalanta is on fire. We have to be totally honest, it is what it is. And Corriere and Gazzetta are speaking, both of them, about that. So beautiful performance from Inter, Milan and Atalanta, not for Bologna, and the performance was, yes, beautiful from Juve, but not enough for the 3 points. The ranking of the Champions League is tough, guys, because I was watching it this morning in Gazzetta dello Sport. Looks like, I don't know if you watched ever the series Lost, but I assume there are so many numbers on the screen in disaster. I didn't understand it. Really tough, so I went to another ranking that was a bit more compact, but it's difficult after 50% of the competition being played to understand. Juventus is there 11th at 7 points, where you say, oh, look, if we win against Aston Villa, we have high chances to be in the top 8 after 5 games, but on the other side, you see that at position 25, you have a Paris Saint-Germain. It's not doing really well this season at 4 points, like Sparta Praha, like Stuttgart, like Shakhtar, all of them at 4 points. So, with one game, everything can change. And I think that to have a real clear idea for that ranking, what are the possibilities, the predictions, you really need to go towards match 7, match 8, because it's really, really tough to understand. Anyway, Juventus 4 more games. City, Aston Villa, Bruges, Benfica, where you will need to win some of them, because otherwise you will have really difficulties to be not only in the top 8, which I don't believe it's feasible, but in the top 24, which is extremely important. Now we go towards Mercato with Tuttosport. They're saying Vlahovic and David, big dreams. What are the dreams? Well, we saw David scoring, we saw Dusan Vlahovic scoring, we were able to observe them from really close. David is a player that will leave this summer for free. Some clubs can go in January and already sign him if they want. Not Juve, because we have no spot for extra EU players, so it's not possible because he's American and Canadian. So it's not possible to sign him and to bring him at Juve in January. Then for the summer, yes, there are some possibilities, we know it. The project of Thiago Motta, we know it. Good friend, best friend probably with Weah in football. He spoke about it in The Athletic, I believe, 1 week ago when we went through his interview. It's a player that is good. It's really a good player. I never believed that much in him being ready for Juve until the summer. And it's starting to make me change opinion, because what I was asking for him was continuity, one, which he's having at the moment because he's scoring like 7 goals in Ligue 1, 4 in Champions League, 2 in qualifiers for Champions League. He scored like 3 goals with Canada. So it's a player that is really giving continuity in all the competition that he's playing. And also being able to do a beautiful job also against big teams at big stages. So a beautiful player that is growing. He's only 24, so it's a young player that I would see at Juve. Yes, I would see him at Juve. But the thing is, would I see him next to Dusan Vlahovic? I don't think so, because I see a lot of similarities between the two players. I think it would be, like or one or the other. The two together, I am not sure. Then, of course, we have Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic that just scored his 50th goal with Juventus. He wrote on Instagram, it's just the beginning. So hopefully he can score many, many more with Juve. Of course, this season he scored already 4 penalties. But do you remember that before that he had like 3 penalty missed or something like that, where we were even asking ourselves, should we continue to trust him on penalty sessions? He trained, he continued to improve on that, and it's a 4-on-4 with 9 goals scored already since the beginning of the season. The best season start ever with Juventus. The maximum that he scored after, I believe, 15 games played were 7 goals. goals. He's already at 9. So it's a player that is continuing to improve, to do best. Yes, he needs to improve also on the easy goals, for example. On the goals that should be goals. He needs to improve on a lot of things, characterial things, behavior things. But it's a player that, honestly, if today you are asking me, can you change or do you want to change Jonathan David with Dusan Vlahovic, I would probably say no. The only reason why I would do it is financially, because we know it one is earning 12 million euro net, the other one is only 5. There is a big gap there, and one is you are taking him for free, the other one costed you 80 million. So financially I could even think about it, but other than financially, I keep Dusan Vlahovic today, and if he extends and if he can even lower his salary mass, I would be happy with the Serbian number 9 at Juve. That's for Jonathan David. And then the same question arrived for Chico Conceição or Zhegrova. That is still an objective of Juve. I tell you, it's a bit the same. They have some similarities, a lot, some things that are different, but more or less we are speaking about the same players. I prefer to keep a Conceição. That is younger, he's 21, he's already showing at Juve that he can be in a big team like Juve, while for Zhegrova, it would have been my crush, you know it, if we didn't sign Conceição. So I wanted to go for Zhegrova, that would have been probably cheaper even than Conceição, but Conceição, we had a beautiful formula. On loan, we could test him. There is no obligation, so we can go for it, paying the clause of 30 million, trying even to negotiate to lower it a bit. But no, so I prefer keeping Chico and Dusan Vlahovic. On the other side, I tell you, if this summer they would have brought me Zhegrova and Jonathan David, I would not have been there blaming Cristiano Giuntoli. But on top, I think it's too much. Then there is Zirkzee. Zirkzee that is totally flopping at Manchester United, and there are some possibilities to have him at Juve, on loan already. Do I want to speak about that? Yes. You know what? Because I don't want to speak about Endrick, or at least not that much. I started to see that Fichajes, that is a Spanish source, reported that Tottenham and Juve are extremely interested in January for the Brazilian player to have him on loan. Ragazzi, it is impossible. I tell you immediately, because then I saw a lot of Juve sites starting to report the news, Italian site, English-speaking site that were reporting the news. I'm like, guys, please, inform yourself better before starting to spread some news. I understand the run, the chase for likes and for visibilities, and to inform, to be the first one to report the news. But actually, this one was really not difficult. This one is really super easy. Juventus, they have no slots free for extra European players in January. We had 2 free slots, and we spent them for Douglas Luiz and for Adzic. How does it work in Italy? Some people ask me, Beppe, selling, buying. Okay, normally you actually have 1 slot for a new extra European player. Only 1 slot. You can eventually have a second one if you sell one of your non-European player abroad of Italy. So making sure that he's leaving Italy. Then you create a second spot, but that's it. That's it. If you sell, for example, Arthur out of Italy in January, you cannot replace it with now. You will have to wait the new season, 25-26. So it's something that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It's a beautiful player, yes. Hype player, yes. But no. Because we could possibly enter the technique, the skills. Will it happen? Will it not happen? That player playing well at Juve, does it make sense to have a player that is not from us but from Real Madrid, that we are training him to give him back? But it makes no sense to speak about it. While the other one, Zirkzee, is someone that I really want to speak a bit more about, for a simple reason, because Zirkzee is a player that they signed for 40 million euro from Bologna, and that is absolutely not working. Absolutely not. And they are thinking to loan him out in January. Then can we have him in January for only 6 months? I think a player like Zirkzee changing your entire team, I don't know if I would do it immediately, even if he knows already the coach and it will be easier for him to adapt. If it's a loan for 18 months, I think it's better, so that you have a bit of projectuality. You can already plan a bit more also towards the other season, and also with an option to buy. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Signing him it's too much, 40 million euro that they just spent. So, in terms of depreciation, it will be there at 35, 32 million euro at the end of the season. It's too much for a player. I think that he could have been a real good player for Juve if we took him in the summer. Now it's a bit late. Now it's a bit late for that player. Then, if they are able to bring him in with a fantastic formula from United, I would not say no, but that would not be my first choice. I think that we can find other solutions there. But anyway, this is something that Thiago Motta will continue to work on. Anyway, let me know in your comment section what you think about the video of today. Let me know the prediction, if you want, even about Union Saint-Gilloise Roma. Will I celebrate a win from Union La Vecchia Signora from football of Belgium? Or will I see actually Roma win? Let me know. Grazie, forza, Juve.